Want to make your CapCut PC exports look as crisp and professional as possible? In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you exactly how to set up your export settings for maximum video quality, no matter what platform you're sharing on. By the end of this video, you'll know how to get the sharpest detail, the smoothest motion, and how to avoid that frustrating blurry look after uploading to sites like YouTube, Instagram, or TikTok. Let's jump right in and talk about the key things you should focus on when exporting from CapCut PC. First up is resolution. The best practice here is really simple. Always match your export resolution to the resolution you originally recorded in. So if your camera shot footage in 1080p, export at 1080p. If you worked with 4K, export at 4K. Why does this matter? Upscaling or downscaling your video during export can introduce unwanted blurriness or artifacts. Basically, you want every pixel of your original work to show up clearly in the final file. Next, let's talk about bitrate. This setting controls how much data is dedicated to each second of video. In CapCut PC, you'll see options like higher or recommended. I always suggest using the highest bitrate your computer and storage can handle, especially for YouTube projects. Platforms like YouTube compress every video you upload, so starting with a higher bitrate, like 35 to 45 Mbps for 4K at 30fp, gives YouTube's algorithms better data to work with. If you've ever experienced grainy or blocky playback online, chances are the original bitrate was too low. Go higher. If quality is your top priority, just remember the file size will increase. Now, for the codec and format, choose H.264 and MP4. You'll find these options in CapCut's export window. H.264 is the industry standard for high-quality video and is widely compatible. MP4 is about as universal as it gets for devices and platforms. You rarely need to stray from these settings unless you have very specific requirements. Frame rate is another easy one. Just set it to match your source footage. For example, if you filmed at 30 FPS, export at 30 FPS. If it was 60 FPS, keep it at 60 FPS. Changing your frame rate here can lead to unnatural motion or even weird stuttering effects. So matching the original recording is the safest bet. Let's pivot to some quick platform-specific advice. For YouTube, export at the highest resolution you have, preferably 4K if that's what you filmed. Use that high bitrate, and don't worry too much about file size unless you're on a serious upload deadline. YouTube's compression is pretty aggressive, so your goal is to give it the cleanest possible source. For social platforms like Instagram or TikTok, things are a little different. These apps are heavily optimized for mobile, so your best choice is 1080p. Stick with 1920x1080 for regular posts, or 1080x1920 if you're making vertical content for reels or stories. Here, a frame rate of 30 FPS is optimal, since anything higher can get compressed harder and lose detail. Pick recommended or slightly higher bitrate to help maintain clarity. One pro tip for creators: before you export for social media, add an adjustment layer in CapCut and gently bump up the sharpen value in the Adjust tab. I'm talking a small increase, not an extreme setting. This helps counteract the softening effects that platforms tend to apply during their own compression. Don't worry if you're not sure. You can always preview your export before uploading and tweak this to taste. And that's it. If you follow these export steps in CapCut PC, you'll be amazed at how much better your videos look after uploading. If you have any questions about specific settings or want advice for a different platform, drop a comment below. I'm always happy to help. Don't forget to hit like if you found this tutorial useful, and subscribe for more expert video editing tips. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.